Hi everyone, my name is Arjun Rai, founder and CEO of HelloWolfie.com and EmojiData AI. Today, we love to talk to you about EmojiData AI as a programmatic API and database of auto-completing words, sentences, phrases with the perfect combination of emojis, hashtags, and much, much more. So what does it mean for you? Well, if you're an email provider, if you're a newsletter creation platform, if you're a note-taking app, or anything related to do with the written word and driving engagement and driving ease of use of your platforms with your customers, you really, really want to get in touch with us for EmojiData.ai. So let's give you a sample of what EmojiData.ai can actually do. So like I said, Hello Wolfie is actually the parent company behind EmojiData.ai, and we use the technology itself internally to ease our customers' pain when it comes to using, coming up with content, scheduling content, things of that nature. So let's give you a sample. So let's zoom in and let's make sure we go full screen here. Now, if I'm typing in the word I love and just stop at the word and letter V, what will happen is programmatically based on 50 million data points and 50 million conversations, the engine EmojiData.ai is giving you a recommendation of the letter E. E being the perfect letter to complete that word. U following that being the perfect word to complete that sentence. Now, if I hit tab, what will happen is that emojis are now being recommended as well. Now, let's take a step back. Emojis are shown to drive double-digit engagement. Don't take my word for it. Adobe, HubSpot, and many other companies have shown research where double-digit uplifts in engagement are seen on Twitter, in email, in newsletters, on e-commerce, on Facebook, and so on and so forth. The only issue is that there are 3,000 emojis. Just to give you a sample, here's a drop-down of a keyboard. How many of you want to go through all of these emojis and try and figure out in real time which one is contextual and actually drives value or in terms of engagement? Obviously, it takes a lot of time. So what we do is based on data science and artificial intelligence, we give you those recommendations. Now, if I type in I love you and my dogs, for example, which I do, it'll start giving me recommendations for dogs and emojis related to dogs. It's not just dog emojis. It's related to based on the data science itself, what other emojis would do really well based on what you've typed in and these emojis being recommended. Now, of course, as a result, we have a fully optimized social media post with the perfect emojis, the perfect combination of words, and so on and so forth. But what does this mean for you? So let's take a look at EmojiData.ai again. Now, of course, we're getting a few 100,000 API calls a month. We're looking for partners to join our pilot program to help us build a proof of concept, which is where you come in. But we also built an emoji ticker that is continuously refining the data science itself and the data on the back end. And what that means is we're continuously analyzing which emojis are being used in real time with which words, other emojis, hashtags, what sentiment, what is the feel, the vibe of the emojis being used or the post itself overall, so that when your customers or you are typing a post or coming up with the right word, looking for the right words, we already know based on hundreds of millions of data points that we're about to deploy. As a result of this, you are essentially making the perfect decision with the most optimized set of words, the most optimized combination of emojis and hashtags, and so on and so forth. Now, if you only want words, we can power only words. If you want emojis and words, we can power that as well. The API has full capabilities designed for your needs. Now, just to give you a sample, if you were, say, an email provider, this is what it could look like in your ecosystem, essentially, in your user interface. Now, of course, if you type it, double-click on a word, our predictive linguistics engine, the EmojiData.ai API, will give you recommendations for what are emojis that will do well with this word. You can also highlight the entire sentence, and we'll do the same. Now, on the bottom right, you can also see an indicator of the icon where you can see emojis that are recommended based on everything in that text field itself. Now, over here, what you're seeing is an animation of me typing a set of words, and essentially the engine is auto-completing the words themselves. Think of this like autopilot, but for linguistics. But on top of that, what if your autopilot could then give you recommendations of emojis just to add some flair to your text itself? And at the end of that, you get a result like this. Now, you may be asking, how does this actually work? Well, I'll give you a sample of one of the 4 algorithms. Now, keep in mind, there are 3 other algorithms that are driving the recommendations themselves. But this, again, is only a sample of one. So let's type in I love dogs and trees, for example. Now, what will happen is it'll start looking at which words tend to do really well with other emojis, other hashtags, other words, other emojis, so on and so forth. So what that means is if I take a look at here, for example, if I look at the word love, love does really well with this emoji, or these emojis rather. And when you take a look at, for example, the hashtag heart, which is connected to the word love, of course, it'll tend to do really well with these hashtags, with these emojis, and so on and so forth. So very powerful, very relationship-based. Now, this is known as a node individually, and those relationships are known as edges. And the bigger you look at the network, essentially, of recommendations, the more complex this gets. But on the front end, it's a very, very simple user interface for customers who are looking to use something like this. Now, if you go around here to look at the recommendations being given for dogs, obviously we're getting dog emoji recommendations, but who knew, based on our data, that an apple was also used very often with the dog emoji, or the topic dog. And these are obviously other hashtags and so on and so forth. So let's show you about the speed. Let's talk about the speed, how fast this is. Now, the latency, as of the last time we checked, was 1,379 milliseconds. Just to give you a sample, we love Bloomberg, but Bloomberg's latency is actually 1,969 milliseconds. A little bit slower, not too much, but we actually are much, much faster than even a multi-billion-dollar company like Bloomberg. Just to give you a sample of not only intelligence and contextual recognition of what you're typing in real time, but speed. Speed is super critical for users who are using your email service, or your newsletter creation platform, or your note-taking app, or any other kind of platform that requires a written word. So we'd love to get in touch with you. Please reach out. Take a look at our website, EmojiData.ai. Take a look at the information on there. If you want to take a look at some of the research that is from HubSpot or Adobe, take a look at that. And once you're ready, reach out to us. We're looking for pilots. We're looking for partners to help us with a proof of concept. These are some prices we are now starting with in terms of working with partners. But contact us at the contact form itself, or feel free to email me, arjun@hellowoofy.com. If you have any questions at all about Emoji Data itself, the world's first programmatic word and emoji database and API, feel free to reach out. You can reach me on social as well, or LinkedIn. Thank you very much. Bye.